Okay. So as I was saying, when I got so rudely cut off earlier by chaos,
Which time?
all of them,
All the times.
all of them. That I've created this like list of questions, but a lot of times when we sit down for our conversations kind of take on a life of their own. So there are no topics that are off limits, and
Well,
we
that's
don't.
dangerous.
It is, but that's the fun of it. And it's not necessarily like narrowed down to just your music, because there's so many other things about what a band is and what they do that help us get to know you, that'll help the rest of the world get to know you as well. So whether that's dangerous, that it's not just strictly your history and where you're going, that we have questions like, are your parents Superman fans? Is that your real name? Is it a nickname? I have questions.
Those are questions you have for me.
Yes,
Okay,
legitimately.
well, I assume those are for me because I am named after Superman's father. Uh, I don't know if my mom had a thing for Marlon Brando or Superman comics as a whole. Now Frank left. Frank, come back.
Where's the Swiffer
It's
commercial?
chaos.
Oh no. Yeah, no.
I want to hear this though.
Oh, Frank. Finally got you
Okay.
back.
Anyways,
He might.
he'll be back.
Yeah. No.
So
Yeah, I was named after Superman's dad. Um, and yeah, I don't know if my mom had a thing for Marlon Brando or if my parents were necessarily Superman fans or what. But yeah, that is who I'm
is
named
that why
after.
you wear that giant chain?
The giant chain is me. That's it's gradually grown since like when we first started. It was a lot smaller, and
Was it?
yeah, it started. I think the first few shows I did, it was like a choke collar or something like that, like a big dog, as big as I could find for that. And I was like, that's not big enough. It needs to be bigger. So I went and hit up I don't even remember Max Hardware or something, and I said I need this biggest chain that you have at about 5 feet of it. It only weighs like 25 pounds.
I was.
Only?
I just. I was like, that would sink me. My whole thought process when I was scrolling through and I was like, oh yeah, you wear this giant chain. I was like, well, his name has a Superman reference. I was like, I wonder if that's in reference to the first Superman movie, because that's how they tried to get rid of Superman.
Oh, help me, I'm stuck. Yeah, no,
They
actually,
stuck a
this
big
was
old piece of kryptonite on the chain and threw him in the pool.
it's it's not it could be. I could modify that backstory, but it's really not. It's just because I like obnoxious. I just like being obnoxious and memorable.
Okay. Well, I am a Superman fan, so I picked up on the namesake thing, and I had to know. I had questions.
That fun thing about that chain. I wonder if he knows he got kicked out.
He does. He says that his phone shut down.
Oh, of course it did. His
Like,
phone died. He knew it was going to happen too. He got a charger and everything, but it wasn't enough.
oh well, you
Oh,
know what? There's always
Or
another time.
it
Like if he wants to
overheated.
come back on, we can have him come back on.
that's fine.
Probably overheated charging and trying to use everything at the same time.
You, uh, I didn't. Did he message in the group or what?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had sent a message through the group chat, and so he messaged on the chat.
Just
It
keep
very
rolling and
much
I'll try
is.
and return. Okay. All right. Sounds good. We'll just
we
do what he
are
said.
we are
All right.
our,
Perfect.
our life is
Um,
chaos,
so
but we're happy with it.
yeah, that that chain. Fun story about that chain. I remember one show. This little tiny chick way back when we first started. I was in my 20s, I think. She come up and she's like, "Can I hang on your chain?" I said, "Yeah, sure." And she maybe weighed 100 pounds. So she hung on it, put her feet up, and just hung on it, and I just held her there. She says, "I'm gonna go get my friend," and so her friend does it too. And I said, why don't you both try it? So they both locked legs and hung on my chain. I said, okay, hang on. And we went. I said, we're going for a ride, and I walked like 10 feet to get a beer from the bar. Like, oh my god, yeah, no, it got this big head and a big neck.
Would
He's
you
big
do
head.
that now?
No, I'm married.
Oh, okay. I can see that being different. I was just like in the realm of like you're
Oh,
at
when
the
I left it, yeah,
show,
absolutely.
and
Somebody
if
wants to,
somebody came up, would you be like, sure? And
yeah,
you're like, no, dude, I'm married.
yeah, no, yeah, it's fine. Go ahead. I had a guy at the last show grab hold of it and try and pull me as I just lean back and just yank him with me. Fine.
So how tall are you?
6 foot.
You're pretty good size. I was scoping out like everything I could find in the past couple weeks on Facebook or YouTube, like scrolling through pictures and all kinds of stuff. I do these like little deep dives because I'm
Yeah,
like I need to get
yeah.
a feel for who they are.
I'm 6 foot, and in my older, fatter years, I weigh 250 pounds. Dad
Older
bod, dad
batteries.
bod coming in hot.
So, how long have you been in our passing conversation? You had mentioned that you guys had the original band Flux,
Yep.
and then you disbanded for a while. Now, is
We
everybody in the band now all still the same members from Flux?
So it was until the very last show. The last show that we did was the last show we're going to have with our original drummer. So for the last, what was it, like 18, 19 years? We started in 2006. So 2006 to 2012 or 13, we were all the same members. It was me, it was Frank, it was LJ, and we had a bass player, Chris, um, and Ryan. And then 2012, 13 ish, we uh, all had families and we're all living different places. And so we went on a hiatus until about 2019. We came back and it was all still the same guys. It was uh, Frank, it was Ryan, it was Chris, it was me, and it was LJ. Well, COVID hit like right after we did our comeback show and we changed our name, because when we came back, we found out that Flux, as we spelled it as it was about 97 EDM artists. It was three or four cover bands. It was a collectible card game. So being buried in search engines is a pain in the butt. So we decided to start fresh as Pray for Villains, and then COVID hit and kind of shut everything down. Our bass player could not leave his house for since COVID became a thing until like I want to say like 2021. At which point he just said, just like I'm done. I can't do it. So
Mm.
we've been baseless since like 2020 ish, 2020, 2021, whenever that happened. And going forward, we are going to have our first jam with a new drummer and new bass player next week. So
Okay.
we sent them a couple of tracks and they picked them up pretty quick. So I'm pretty confident that they'll be able to do it. And they're about half of our age, so that'll help us appeal to another generation, maybe.
Oh
Bunch of old
yeah.
guys and these young guys, you know. But
So how old
yeah,
are you?
I'm 40.
You're 40. Okay, so you're younger than I am.
But that's fine.
So
I wouldn't
I
get. I
like
would not have guessed that. I would not have guessed that. I'm very old and rugged looking anymore.
whatever. I find that we are talking to a lot more of bands that have older members, though. And what I love about this is because I feel like at my age now, watching the people that I grew up with, like when you hit our age, it was like, oh, life is over. You're not supposed to do anything. You're supposed to be settled. And now I'm looking around and I'm like, all of these people are my age and they are all living their best and they're still setting goals and they're still maxing out these dreams. And I absolutely love it.
Yeah,
So
I agree
being
with that.
40 and being on stage, I think it is awesome.
Yeah, we're I like to actually had a social media post yesterday about being more of a mentor capacity now. I don't have, we're not going to probably tour because we're old, we've got families and we got other responsibilities. But there are younger generations that haven't been around as long. They haven't had the same pitfalls. They don't have the same experience that we do. So being able to help somebody say, "Hey, what do you think of this?" In your case, you hit me up merch, or and you were one of several people that hit me up for merch this week. It's like just ideas and bouncing ideas around and stuff like that. I had a band hit me up about, "Hey, man, we're looking for a vocalist." I sent them a couple people that I know that were looking for. Hey, there's Frank.
Look at that!
But yeah, no, that's kind of how I. If we can use our experience and knowledge to help somebody else, maybe they can make it further than we did. There are some young bands in our area right now that I'm very confident could go someplace. Uh, we've got a band called Lilac Jam from here. They're releasing an EP at the same festival we are at Four Winds. Grave Solace, they're not playing Four Winds, but they're another band that does a lot of touring around the area. Um, Heck, even Fatal Fall out of Sioux City, they're on tour with Hemlock right now. And
They're coming on.
yeah, so
I'm
the Fatal
excited about
Fall
that
is.
No, Hemlock. I was really
Hemlock.
surprised.
You tell Chad I said hello.
I have no fear anymore when I started deciding I was like, I am just gonna pretty much spam everybody. If
Yeah,
you're a band and I consider you underground, even if you're like right on the cusp, I don't care. I'm sending you a message. I don't
so
care if you are a famous person and you have a band and it's like teeny tiny, nobody knows. I'm sending you a message.
so
No fear.
you guys are gonna have Hemlock on here. That's great. Love those guys.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure yet because they're on tour right now, and so we're kind of waiting for tour dates to get done. So it might be after their tour is done. But yeah, they have confirmed that they're going to come chat with us.
Cool.
So like, I did create a playlist on my YouTube, and it's just called Chatting Underground. And for anybody who's listens and pays enough attention, if you go to YouTube, you can always find out what's in our queue by hitting up that playlist, because I will add people like bands, soloist acts, if they're agreed to come on, they're on there. I think all three of the songs I could find by you guys are on that list.
Hey, look, she found the right Pray for Villains.
I did. I no idea how hard that was.
There's two of them. Yeah. So you found the right one.
I did. I listened to the first one. I clicked play, and I'm like, this does not sound right at all. I'm like that is not right. And so I scrolled down a little bit, and I was like, wait, I'll click on this one. And it was The Lesson, and I was like, oh, that's the right one.
Yep,
that's the one I'm looking for. So I did. I like that song very much so, and Ego, both of those.
Ego, that's a fan favorite.
It is. Sadly,
it's so long. It's so long. If you like the lesson, you're gonna like the one we sent you to talk about here too. I think you'll like that one too.
Yeah. So in your kind of like explain why you went from Flux to Pray for Villains, and then you've been around about 20 years.
Yeah, pretty close.
Are you guys just pretty much playing shows right there in the Sioux Falls area? Do you go outside of Sioux Falls? I know you said, touring because everybody has families and you have to have a balance.
Yeah. We talked about that pretty recently. I think we would go for a good show. We might play someplace under 3 hours if we went for a night. That's not such a big deal. Someplace like, because we're from Sioux Falls, someplace like Minneapolis, Sioux City, Omaha, that kind of stuff. That's not so far away, but going further than that is more difficult.
So how do you guys balance out your everyday jobs with your play, your fun
I'll
life?
let Frank take that. He's in 3 bands.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I have 4 children too, so
By himself.
my life is full. Generally, how I have to do it, and I don't have any say in the matters. I just got to make sure everybody's serious and they can keep their fucking schedules, and then you can get things done. But also just lots of experience. That's really 20 years of playing. Like kind of just jump in with bands and figure it out pretty quick.
That seems like a lot. So what's your day job?
I'm an insurance adjuster, so I'm super boring during the day.
Right. Hope you don't work for the last insurance company I had because I yelled at that guy.
I work for insurance companies, so I'm like a third party guy. So they hire somebody to go do their dirty work. That's what I do.
Okay. No, I literally yelled at the guy at the insurance company because I told him he wasn't doing his job correctly. And I was not nice about it. After like the 8th time of having to have the same conversation, I was like, you're just not listening.
Stinky.
Well, I I get very flustered with people when I have to repeat myself over and over and over again. So hopefully your job goes smooth during the day and then you get to let out any probably sit there and like strum with your hands on the table all day like, can I just get out of here?
I go to the site, so I'm different. I actually drive out to places and like do insurance inspections and then actually like get on roofs, and that's the kind of job. I'm the guy they send out, not the guy you talk to on the phone necessarily. You'll talk to me in person. They don't talk to you like that in person.
Yeah, sometimes I feel like if I had a conversation with them in person, it would be easier for them to understand what I am saying. Like, rather than it just being an over the phone conversation. That's when we were talking with Matt for his interview, and he was like, "Oh, it's video too." And I was like, "Well, yeah, because I am the type of person that I like to put a face to a voice. Otherwise, my brain creates what you're supposed to look like, and then when I see you, sometimes I'm like, "Oh, that is not what my head thought I was."
You're really funny looking.
Like, I have to be like, no, I have to go back to not seeing your face now because it clashes with what was going on in my head. So I very much have to have the face concept here. I want to see who I'm talking to. So I get it. But you said 3 bands and 4 kids.
Yep.
Jorelle, how many kids do you have now? Is he thinking about how many kids? Oh, what? I asked how many kids you had.
Oh, I didn't hear you. I'm sorry. I have 3 kids. I have a teenager and a 5 and a 6-year-old. And my 6-year-old is a type 1 diabetic, so we're pretty busy too.
Oh, yeah. You guys have boys?
2 boys. What'd you say to me?
I said, do you guys have boys?
Yeah. The 2 young ones are boys for me. Frank's lucky. He's got all boys.
4.
How do you do that? I have 1, and he literally runs me crazy. Do your children wake up in the morning going max speed as soon as their eyes open?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah,
Go back
that's
to your
every
room
one
and
of
let
them.
me
Every one of
sleep.
them was like that. But me and mom are both kind of like that. We're both
Oh,
kind of like high energy, and we need to temper it.
once I wake up, I'm okay, but I'm a slow. I'm like an old engine. You know, I can warm up real slow.
Lumber
My
around.
eyes open, but it takes me a while to sit there and just kind of lowly hum until I start to purr. I'm not there yet. I give you guys props for having that many boys and still functioning and getting your songs and your free time done.
I don't know. I just hear my alarm and hit the button and pass back out for another 5 minutes.
You're lucky.
Well, I do that every time. I don't fly out of bed like that. I mean, there's like three or
She
four of
hates
those.
my
Where I'm like,
alarm.
I'm gonna get up, I guess.
Her alarm that is screaming. You don't understand. Like literally, like somebody is. I don't know
Horror
if the
movie.
person that made it was having an orgasm or if they're dying.
Well, it's
Both.
like Dahlia murder, so it's. I mean,
Pretty
it's
much
loud
what
and
it
annoying as
sounds
well.
like.
I'm like they're either like in a Wes Craven horror movie getting murdered or they're in a porn. That's the alarm on the phone.
To me, it sounds like somebody's getting murdered, so.
Okay. So, knowing that I scroll through Facebook quite a bit, I haven't done a deep dive down yours, Frank, so you're probably safe from a lot of my prying questions.
Perfect.
Oh, great. No, I'll be fine.
But
Accurate.
now,
There's something you would like to talk about that's me? Yeah, let's do it.
so, well, we're going back to this. You know, you've really been talking a lot about the new song coming out.
Yeah.
And I had caught one of your Facebook posts the other day where you were talking about lyric writing and going through the stages of depression and how that plays into your music.
And in this particular song, every one of our songs is different. We have songs that cover a wide range of very nerdy topics, from comic books to movies to just stories. We just love stories. This one is probably, it still tells a story, but it's more metaphoric in that it also describes what it feels like for me to go through a really depressed period.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you guys sit down to write those, do you sit down and like you write out the lyrics first and then the music is put behind it, or does the music come first and then the lyrics?
Frank's first.
Uh, the music always comes first for us. We always it's riffs and then drums and layers and music is the primary focus, and then we just try to get Jay to do vocals over instrumentals.
It actually works out pretty well because usually you can hear what the song will speak to us in some way,
Yeah,
whether
happens.
whatever guitar player wrote the riff or one of us will hear something. The song will talk to us in a way that we know what the song is trying to be, and we can lay a story over top of it. We have, like I said, we got a song about like Ghost Rider. We've got a song about the 300 Spartans. We've got a song about God of War, the video game. We've got just anything that tells a story. We're a good story. We're into it.
We're really just looking for inspiration.
Yeah.
Wherever you can find inspiration, and it starts speaking to you, you gotta grab that muse while it's there.
Yep.
Okay. Because I wasn't sure, like I figure every band is different, but there's got to be some like basic foundation for songwriting that kind of, Frank, is that kind of how it goes in all of the bands that you're in? Like the music comes first?
No, so like songwriting is weird, and I think it's good to experiment with different practices, right? Like in our band, in Pray for Villains, it is like we started with the riffs, we start with the guitars, and I usually come up with an arrangement, or me and Red will get together, and he'll have ideas, and we'll turn a few riffs into a song, and then we'll do the lyrics for Jay, and we'll help him, or he'll write them. Like this, so the song that you're gonna hear, the next single, Jay pretty much wrote all those lyrics. When usually we're a team when we write lyrics.
Yeah, I think there's one line that got tweaked just a little bit, but other than that, I wrote that whole thing. Yeah. The other thing that we've ran into before is they came in with a whole song that was structured just to riffs. We wrote lyrics for it. Once the drums got layered in, the song no longer made sense or fit because the song had changed how we heard it. So we rewrote the lyrical content for that whole song. Couldn't tell you which one it is because I don't remember, but that's why we do it the way we do it.
Yeah. Okay. And so with this new single that you guys are releasing on the 31st, correct?
31st, yep.
Okay. Do you guys have plans for like a full-length CD following
that? We're going to release a 5-track EP at Four Winds Music Festival in Sioux Falls on July 19th. So
I need to be richer so I can just run around and like concert hop all the time.
That's always the dream, isn't it?
I don't want a real job. I just want to be. I just want a concert hop.
More money.
I'll take it too.
You were talking about old people doing stuff now, and that's why, because us older people have money to do stuff.
That's very true.
I want to like I would love to just travel around, meet lots of new bands, do lots of more interviews, do like concert reviews. That would be my dream job right there.
Be generous with the concert reviews because that's there's a lot of like random stuff that happens live at a show.
Oh, last year
never worked out like this podcast. Only you're in front of like 500 people to 1,000.
Yeah.
We went to Sad Summerfest last year, which is like a big emo concert. Awesome. Mm-hmm. And we have tickets for it this year. But at last year's concert, we looked over, and so the pavilion area that we're at, like the whole concert area is just on concrete. So that would be why they were being so weird in their mosh pit. But I looked over and I'm like, is that really what mosh pits have started? They were like running in a circle, but they weren't really. They were literally just running in a circle and bouncing. That was mosh pit. I was like,
they weren't trying to knock anybody over.
Right. I was like, this is not a circle pit.
Safety first.
They got their cardio and it's okay.
Right. They were running out all that beer that they put in their system. But just one of those things when I think about concert reviews, that's like what I'm thinking about, completely from the crowd, like point of view. How did that show go? Was the crowd super pumped? Were they having a great time? How were the bands performing? That's, we kind of sort of do that when we go to concerts now. We'll post like a short, quick, like concert recap because we'll be doing one in a couple weeks. We have a concert we're going to local here. But I would love to be able to, like, I'm going to take the weekend for the Four Winds off and come out and hang out for a whole weekend.
Good time.
It's a great
every
weekend.
Year.
Take me with you.
Great music.
I know
boss, tell him to quit.
We are planning. I don't know if you guys are going to be at the party or not, but we have already said it more than once in people that I've talked to and on the podcast that we are going to be at Buddha's 50th birthday party at Biggs.
We're pretty much there every year, whether we're planning or not.
Yeah.
So we will be there this year. I told Buddha, I was like, I don't have a choice. I have to be there. I've said it one too many times now.
Grandpa Buddha's getting old. Yeah. You got to be there for his 50th.
Mm-hmm. Right?
Always a gigantic too.
Yeah.
The only guy that gives out as much hugs as I do.
I do notice you're, come and get free hugs. So how did that start?
So it started with a way for me to coax people to the merch table. There are two things that I try and work in every time we're on stage. One of them is that there's one thing that binds all of us together. Everybody in the whole world, no matter who they are, they can be the nicest person on the planet. Somebody's going to have a bad story about them. We're all the villain in somebody's story. That's one thing I try and work in. The other thing is come see me at the merch table after we're done on stage. I don't care if you buy a shirt or buy anything. Just come buy a free hug from me because I'll be over there selling those. So that's how that started. So now I just sell free hugs.
Free hugs. That
Free hugs.
works. Um, uh, the other thing I notice a lot about like the older I don't want to say generation, but like the bands that have been around for 15 and 20 years is you guys are always way more personable than these newer bands. I feel like
By a long shot. By a long shot.
I think
like
it comes down to the new bands. They when a band starts, they have these stars in their eyes. They're going to be famous. They're going to be the coolest thing. So they got to be the prima donna a hole a little bit, the little bit of ego, and so they kind of push people back because they want to be cool. As we get older, we realize that 20-year-old version of us was stupid as shit, and now we sell free hugs.
It's also the social IQ of a 20-year-old versus like a 40-year-old is so different.
Oh yeah, way different.
You talk to like thousands of people, like we've been to tons of shows. It's like, especially if we play somewhere that we played like bigs like 1,000 times. We know everybody in that fucking venue.
Yep.
Like everybody. So everybody's saying hi, everybody's hanging out, everybody's having beers. So just turns
Hell,
out.
I went to a show a while back, and go ahead.
Saw you guys the one and only time that I ever saw you guys. You played at the Red Eye.
Oh yeah, with Blue Felix.
Yeah,
Blue Felix outside. Yep.
So hot.
I climbed a tree.
Yeah, it was terrible on the stage too.
It was hot.
Yep.
It was so hot that day. I was like, and I was so crabby all day long. I was like, why are we here? This is ridiculous. It's so hot.
Because the Red Eye has twofers. That's why you're there.
I was working. I was a waitress. I had to be there. They were like, this is when you're working, kitty. But yeah, they have twofers. I live currently in a state where the state regulates that twofers are not allowed.
Oh, weird.
Like, how odd. Frank is like, excuse me? That is what I thought too. I just had to take our liquor certification class for the venue that I work at. And I was like, how do you, I mean, I get it. We serve a lot of drinks, but like they don't do twofers. It's against the law. It's like, that is so odd.
Do specials that then turn into twofers? Like, isn't it just a pricing trick?
This state has a lot of crazy rules. Like, technically, we're not supposed to be letting anybody walk away from the bar with more than one drink. So if somebody comes up to get beers for their friends at a packed show, I literally have to be like, where are the rest of the people for your drinks? They need to show me hands. Like, if they are 10 feet away, they need to jump up so I can see hands. Because I have to make sure that these drinks they don't all belong to you.
Are you worried about it being like underage drinkers?
It's for me, no, because
not
we
you,
stand.
Like the reason.
Oh, it's just the way the state. It's not our bar's rule. It's the state liquor compliance rule. And I wish I could sit down and have a conversation with that person that wrote these rules and be like, do you realize how silly this is?
How difficult it is to explain to every person you talk to.
Right. It does. It really gets there, especially when you have a lot of sold out shows. And this is where we're backtracking now to my comment about the newer bands. When we have our sold out shows that are these newer artists, they tend to not ever come out of the back until the entire venue is completely cleared out. They just hide back there and somebody else handles their merch booth. And I'm like, I can't even talk to you to get you on the podcast because by the time I've come into work, you are already hiding. And I have not even seen your face until you walked on stage.
Yeah, that's definitely like Frank's talking I don't want to say like maturity of it, but I really think that it does play age does play a factor there with like your social skills and stuff like that. but also like you're talking sold out shows for younger bands. Um, some of those bands, that's just what they've seen the big guys do, where they don't want to get mobbed. Your In Flames, your Metallica, your those bands that they sit on their butts because if they come out, they're gonna get mobbed.
Oh,
When you're young like that, you're not gonna get mobbed. Nobody knows who you are.
yeah. That's the time to do it.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, because like we just went to a show and it was sold out, and I kept hoping that she was going to come out of the back, and she never did. And we were actually some of the last people to leave simply because I work at that venue. We got to chit chat with the opening band, and they were super, super cool, very personable with us. They were awesome, but we never saw her ever.
We
I
stood
was
there
like,
and talked for like 30 minutes.
yeah, and I was really like crossing my fingers, and I just tell these young guys, connect with the fans.
Yeah,
that,
those are talking.
they, yeah.
Not that we were very good at it. Jay was the
No,
only one. So when we started,
me.
like Jay's the extrovert, so he would go out, and the rest of us, like we would be standing right next to people who are talking to Jay and talking about the show, and they wouldn't know that we were in the band.
The
Happened all the
personality is
time.
huge.
Well, the red hair and the chain and no shirt. I mean, come on, man. You look
He
like
does
a
definitely.
We look like
He
rock-
definitely has like a showmanship about him.
Oh, for fuck sure. He's
I
like,
put all my points in charisma.
as I say that shit all the time. If he's a Fallout character, be 100 charisma.
100 charisma. Give me all your stuff, but I want it for free.
Yeah.
Nice. So, if there was one thing you could tell your younger selves now, being that you're older and wiser, what would it be?
You go, Jay.
It's not a competition. When we were younger, I tended to see like other local bands that weren't really competition to us. We were all on the same playing field as competition. It's like a big pissing contest, and it wasn't just like us that did that. I know me specifically, but it wasn't just us. It was all the bands. Everybody was trying to compete. Nobody wanted to work together, and it was detrimental to our music scene here, to the point of it kind of collapsed for a while, where there just wasn't shows. A lot of us just kind of went off, and there was shows here and there, but when we started, it was you could go to a show every weekend. But for a while there, several years, there was maybe a show once a month. Yeah, don't be an asshole.
Oh, yeah. I mean, so thinking back, I definitely echo what Jay's saying, because that's super important. That just as a new band, to find your buddies who are maybe not the same genre. They might, you might play metal, they might play rock, they might play reggae. Who cares? Make friends. Make friends,
Yeah.
because just because they have a different style or like a different kind of music doesn't mean that they're not good people, and that you can't work together to build the scene. Because that's what's going on right now, and I think that's something that me and Jay encourage crazily out here. Is just work with the people around you, work with the other bands. I mean, it's so important that you do that. But I was definitely super guilty of being the technical one out in this scene, because I was trying to be a level ahead of all the other guitar players as far as what I was capable of. And as I as I grew older, I realized it's not about me showing off; it's about being memorable, as with melodies, with songwriting, trying to be catchy, trying to be unique. And that's the other thing I would always encourage bands to do is don't mimic your heroes. Try to invent your own style. Do your own thing. You don't have, there's no rules. So stop trying to live within there's good, there's bad, there's wrong, there's right. There's not. There's no rules. It's what sounds great and what doesn't.
I will say that we've had some of the most fun in recent memory is these shows that we do that aren't, we're a metal band, but we play with everybody. We did our last show. There was hip hop, there was rock, there everything. We've done tracks with Night Shield, a local hip hop guy. We did a music video with him. We did a whole song that did a song with him. We did. I did actually. I've done 2 songs. I did one song solo with him, and then one is with the band. Um, but like we've talked about Four Winds a couple times already. That's not a metal festival. That's not a rock festival. It is. There's singers. There's a stage for singer songwriters. There's a stage for the rock. There's a stage for hip hop. There are 4 stages going at that festival for all those 2 days. From the time they start to the time they stop, there's music at on one of those stages.
Of all types.
All types.
And they separate it by
Awesome.
venue. So there's like
Yeah.
there's this huge. I mean, you can go to a hip hop show on Saturday night, and you can walk right across the street and go see some metal bands. And you just
Nice.
walk around downtown Sioux Falls, all these different venues, and all these different kinds of music. Like the main stage alone, you're going to hear everything. I mean, Denham's like a hip hop / like rock guy. You know, and then there's us, and there's guys.
Props there this year.
Heavy, you know, it's just there's all these crazy sounds that you can check out pretty quickly.
Yeah.
That's so cool. That really is. I like that. I know that I had sent over the songs that I had found of your guys to Alex, and I had told Alex, I was like, dude, he makes all those sounds himself.
All those sounds. Yeah, I do.
I'm like, he's the like Screamo king here.
I do. I will say that that's not the first time I've heard that. When I was talking just a few minutes ago about working with Night Shield here in Sioux Falls, I went in and did a track as a guest vocalist on his title track for his album, The Hangover. And there were some other hip hop guys in there. And when I came out of the booth, the guy looked at me and he said, "I didn't know people could really do that. I thought it was all effects and stuff like that. I didn't know people could really do that noise." So I was like, "Well, yeah, that's real. Wait till he mixes it and puts the effects on it. It'll sound even cooler."
Well, because I noticed it too, and it always catches my attention when I hear somebody that can make the sounds that you make, but then they can turn around and just their actual voice coming through still sounds absolutely amazing. Like you're not using one to overcompensate for lacking in another part of your talent. Like it all flows together well.
Yeah, that's when you listen to this single, I will tell you that you follow. We're associated on Facebook and stuff like that. When we recorded at the studio this last time, I had maybe 50-60% of what I do vocally and am capable of because I actually had influenza the week before. So we recorded this whole EP, and I was fighting like some bronchial cough garbage the whole time we were in the studio. So some of the tracks you can hear it a little bit, but overall,
we can hear it. Ain't nobody else.
Well, yeah, I know what it's supposed to sound like, but he made it sound amazing. Like Jeremy at All Poetic Audio in Scotland, South Dakota. He's a vocalist for Earth Groans, and that dude knows his stuff.
Yeah,
he's amazing.
Yeah. You should talk a little bit about your strategy there, Jay. Like
which strategy?
Your strategy? Like when we play songs, there's a reason why we program the set list in a certain way because you can't have the angel and the demon all the time. If you're going to go straight demon, you're going to have to put that at the end because you got to sing first because it will destroy each other all the time. His voice will go. Yeah. So there's like a balance to doing both. It's why you don't hear a lot of bands do it, and why a lot of bands just scream because once you start screaming,
or you'll have 2 vocalists.
Yeah, you start running out of like the ability to belt.
Yeah, one of our longtime fave bands just released a new EP out, and I was like,
it was in 2021.
They lost their screamer. Oh, it was in 2021.
And they lost that one like forever ago, back in like
I know, but I can so
2016.
Tell.
So it wasn't on their album Mass. So you just now noticed it?
Like I feel it, I know it. I wish that somebody would scream for them. Maybe you should send Jorelle. But yeah, like I do notice that a lot of times in metal bands where they have that kind of like screamos heavy metal sound, they do have to, very rarely do they have just, one vocalist that covers it all.
There are a few bands that do that very well.
Some of our favorites.
Where they have one guy. But for a lot of the bands, there's a reason that they have two. It's because it is really hard to do both.
I'm sure like afterwards you like lemon water and honey that.
No, afterwards I'm yelling a lot.
Afterwards, he's getting drunk.
I try to keep my drinking to a minimum beforehand.
Yeah, he was
because
super
otherwise,
do that with some whiskey.
Yeah, no whiskey. Whiskey turns me big, green, and angry.
Okay.
I don't have any friends when I drink whiskey. Everybody's
okay.
That's fair.
Kind of like that scene in the Avengers where he's like slapping Loki around.
Yep, that's me.
Puny God.
I don't drink whiskey. It's bad for everybody.
Oh, nice.
No, I try not to drink beforehand because no matter how much prep you do, how much warm up you do, you have that muscle memory. The same for playing guitar. I assume I don't play any instruments. You build up that muscle memory. This is the way that it's supposed to go. This is the way I'm supposed to do it every time. When you drink, muscle memory goes out the window. Your body's gonna do whatever the hell it wants to. So then you do things improperly, and yeah, it's just not good. So I try and limit myself to maybe a one or two beforehand, but afterwards I might have a few more.
All right, that works. Let's see here. Did you really shut that link off?
I didn't know you were gonna come back. I did shut it off. I'll turn it back on. You ready? Let's go unrestricted access. Anyone with the link right now.
Oh, can you hear it? It came up on my phone like immediately. Oh.
Hold on. I'm going to stop you.
What? That's what you sent me.
I know it is. There should be vocals in there.
Maybe that was just the instrumental. Oops.
Did you not send the mastered?
It should be the right one. Let me check. Hold on.
Okay, well, whatever you sent me,
Just
it's
wait.
danceable, and I like it.
Well, good. Let me see if it's your phone not picking it up or if it's me. There is a chance that I sent you the wrong version because that does happen.
I can open it on my computer.
Oh, you got it on the computer?
Well, I'm on a
Of course
computer.
I
I
do.
can open.
Well, yeah, you know what? I'm not touching the setup right
It's working. Don't mess with it.
Yeah, don't
Right,
touch
it's
nothing.
working.
We're gonna break shit.
I'm not going to tear it up. If
just
you can
have to
pull it up
switch-
on your side
Yeah.
and let me hear it.
Now I'm confused because I'm pretty sure I put the right one on there, but there's a chance I didn't. Give me a second. I'll make sure. But I got to look on my phone because my audio from my computer is going someplace else. Oh, that is the wrong version. Please hang on.
Nice job, Jay.
Skills.
It's not my fault. It's not my fault, man.
It is now.
It's definitely
It's all my fault. That's not the first time I've screwed up. I'm not gonna lie.
You know what? The chaos just rolls around.
Yeah.
It does.
We share
I'll
it
give you-
abundantly with everybody.
I will get
It
it
hit
right
her,
now.
then it hit Frank.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's your turn.
Yep.
Oh man, I'm next.
Yep. You're on the list.
That's weird.
Did you lose it?
No, I have it.
No, it's
I have
in that
everything.
same drive. I know where it
I know. I don't know how I did that.
Don't forget to delete the old one before you put the new one in there. Otherwise, you probably.
I will. Whoa, what are you doing, phone? Okay. Now let's go this route. You ready? I'll just play it. How's that?
Yeah,
That
that
works.
works too.
Okay, we're gonna go to this one because it's not in that one. It's in the one that's shared. It's in this one. It's there. We're gonna come down here to this folder right here to this one to
Hey Jay, you
this
can
one.
you can just take the MP3 and put it right in the chat on Facebook.
Oh, not that. Copy link. Copy here. We're gonna go here. We're gonna go here. Technical difficulties. Make sure it's available
Button. I press button.
in done.
To get it, Alex.
I have to sign in.
You shouldn't have to. It's gonna watch it be not open for sharing. That'll make me upset.
No, I had to sign into my Google.
Oh, to sign into Google?
Yeah,
Think I
to
know
get
what
it
my
when I did
password
it
is?
too. So, what the password is? It's at.
My Google, not yours.
Oh,
Oh, this is fun. I like this. This is a
Think I'm
good
gonna
time.
remember?
yeah. We might not run as smooth as other podcasts, but it's just about having fun and making connections.
That's what it should be. All right, that one should work. That's the right one. I can't believe I did that. I even checked first. But
Am I even connected to the Wi-Fi? Maybe.
What
the
do we
world premiere
say?
of this song is going to be horrible. Look at this.
You know what? You know
No,
what?
it's not.
Screw
We
this.
got
To Facebook. To Facebook. We're just gonna button. There you go. Now we're gonna.
Oh,
set
you're
the-
wearing the Paris hoodie.
Always. This is my favorite hoodie.
I got the pale wave shirt on.
It doesn't tell me that there's. What?
Yes, it does.
It
It's in the
doesn't
Facebook chat.
exist. I mean, it exists, but it doesn't. Like it. I press the
Oh,
button,
what?
and then the timer has lines. That's it. Oh, wait. I think it loaded. Oop. Did I have my audio set properly?
Wow.
Do you got it or not?
Hold on. Yes, I think I got it. I gotta make sure my TV volume's not ridiculous.
Because other.
That's it. Why did it stop?
This kid paused it. Turn it up a little bit more. I want to hear it. Turn on.
Oh.
Okay.
What did
I
you
knew
do?
that. I'm here. I like it.
Oh, okay.
I like it a lot.
I do
wish I
too.
could like hear it on my side. As I
Well,
said, with just the like part that was on my phone a while ago, and it was just the music part of it. That's so
I can
danceable,
always
and it is
download
totally
clip
gonna hit my playlist.
Same.
I will. I'll make sure you guys have a copy of that. You can just lay it on top of that part of the podcast if
Yeah.
you want to.
Yeah, I had to turn the mic off. I knew that my little one was coming, and I was like, "Oh, my house is about to get loud." Tap the mic, turn it off. But oh, I like it. I do. I really like it. I can, and even though like the sound quality wasn't, like perfect on this side, like I can still tell your voice and your scream in there. I really do like it, and you do such a nice job.
Thank you. A lot of years of practice.
But well, where can people find you?
Well, you can if you go to our website, prayforvillainsband.com, you can find all our social media links. We're on YouTube, we're on Spotify, we are on Facebook, we're on Threads, we're on. Do you want to ask a question? I know you got a question about that website.
He sent me a link the other day, and I was like, "Wait, you have an OnlyFans page? Wait a second, how does that work?"
And I had to click the page. It's our Instagram.
I finally did, and it goes straight to Instagram, and I was like, I was almost like, I knew it had to have been a joke, but I was almost sad that it didn't take me to an OnlyFans page that was full of nonsense pictures.
Well, there is lots of nonsense. I mean, I have a drum head upstairs that's got my butt on it where the mic goes in my hole. So I mean,
I saw that on it. I did see that.
Yeah, no. So we don't take anything seriously.
Oh.
Yeah. So
I do. I like it.
hit our website, and you can find all our links right in our links tab.
Are you running a merch sale? I saw something about that on Facebook the other day too.
Yeah. So actually, let's talk about that for a second. We've been sitting on some of our merch for a while, so we're going to be running a fire sale. Basically, you're going to get all our merch for wholesale, wholesale plus shipping and handling. So for $10 or so, you'll be able to buy any one of our t-shirts. Yeah, because we over ordered a few years ago, and yeah, just I'm tired of looking at them, so we're gonna get rid of the wholesale price.
Place it with though, like down the road.
Oh yeah. We always have ideas. We were just kicking around Frank was just sent me an idea that I freaking love. You seen those shirts that are like full coverage and they might look like a superhero with abs and stuff like that. You've probably seen those running around. Something like that, only a big chain and the logo on the chest and like a
Yes.
Stuff like that. We got ideas. We always got ideas.
I like it. I like it a lot.
We got
Awesome.
our graphic design guy, Devil Inside Design. He when he did our EP cover, he sent over a bunch of proofs for T-shirts and stuff like that as well that are of the EP design too. So
Awesome. Very cool. Well, I really want to tell you guys thank you so much for coming on and enduring our chaos.
We're dads. We know what it's like.
It's been a lot of fun to get to chit chat with you guys and kind of get to know you and put faces to who you are and voices. And this is the part that I like, getting to know the community, because I really have hopes that Chatting Underground is going to be able to build a community of artists helping other artists.
That's what we like.
And this is part of it. So thank you guys so much for coming to chit chat with us. Don't forget to hit up their socials. Don't forget to hit up our socials. Hit like and subscribes on all YouTubes and Spotify channels across the board because we're both on them. And thank you so much.
Yep.